Hi there, I'm Eleanor Kearney. I'm a fourth year mechanical and aerospace engineering student from Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. And choosing to be a mountaineer for my undergraduate education was probably the most important decision I've ever made and has truly shaped me into being a better engineer and person. My first experience at WVU was a state-run STEM camp back in middle school, but I didn't quite understand how colleges worked back then. All I remembered was the cool projects I got to build, the riding the PRT, and the friends I made from all over the state. By the time I got to high school, I figured out that I was really interested in outer space, so I started looking for colleges that offered aerospace engineering. WVU is the only school in-state that offers it, so I had to choose between staying in-state or going out of state for a college. I ended up applying to West Virginia University and a private aeronautical focused school, and I got into both, which was really cool. It was really great knowing that I was good enough for the dream school, but I realized I would get the exact same degree from WVU as I would there. Since not every student at West Virginia University is an aerospace engineering major, it helps me stand out among my peers on various applications, and I'm able to have a more diverse friend group that helps me learn about other important issues than just engineering topics. The first class I took at WVU was the Engineering 101 class, and it was offered online through the Access WVU program. By taking that and AP courses, I was able to start the fall an entire semester ahead and officially move into my major during the second semester of my freshman year. This has allowed me to take my courses at a slightly easier pace and really focus on doing well in them. It also lets me have a little more open time to work different TA jobs and be engaged in the Statler College. My freshman year, I joined the marching band here and have some of my favorite memories from the football games I performed in, to making lifelong friends at practices, to being able to travel around the country with the band and football team. I also joined the basketball pep band, not knowing much about basketball at all, and now can bond with almost anyone around the country through talking about NCAA stats and standings. For the summer after my freshman year, I didn't have any plans, but I figured I should do something engineering related. I remembered how much fun I had at the STEM camp all those years ago, and so I applied and became a camp counselor for the engineering challenge camps that the Statler College Outreach Office hosts. From having to keep high schoolers engaged and off their phones to trying to teach complex engineering concepts to elementary schoolers, I learned a lot more than I thought I would that summer. It also got me involved with the Engineering Outreach Office, which has given me so many amazing opportunities. My sophomore year is when I really started to dive into engineering, and I fully decided to participate in our 4.5-year mechanical and aerospace dual degree program. I chose to do both because while I learned I still do love space and aviation, the mechanical classes really give me a different way to approach the aerospace industry. I learned in my aerospace classes, I learned how flight is achieved and more the fluid mechanics behind it, but in my mechanical classes, I learned how to design the mechanisms on space and aircrafts, like the landing gear. Since I'm not favoring one type over the other, I feel I can apply to more positions and still be able to excel in them after graduation. Another important landmark of my sophomore year was my first internship. Out of many offers, I chose to work at NASA Ames Research Center in the Bay Area of California, right in the heart of Silicon Valley. I was able to work in their rotorcraft aeromechanics branch. My two projects were to do a structural analysis on a safety shield that goes in a huge vacuum chamber used for planetary helicopter testing, and then to help determine sensors for characterizing the flow in a wind tunnel that will be used in the same vacuum chamber for rotorcraft testing. A big takeaway from my summer was all the friends I made with students across the country and the different road trips and surfing we did. When I came back to school last fall, I loaded myself up with engineering courses and labs and even worked 2 or 3 jobs and acted on a committee while still hanging out with my friends. I definitely had to figure out how to balance my school and life and make sure I still slept at night. What worked for me was scheduling everything on my phone calendar, since I'm glued to my phone as is. I was able to get a 4.0 for the first time as well that semester, and it was through teaching myself how to prioritize tasks. When I came back to school last fall, I loaded myself up with engineering courses and labs and even worked 2 or 3 jobs and acted on a committee while still hanging out with my friends. I definitely had to figure out how to balance my school and life and make sure I still slept at night. What worked for me was scheduling everything on my phone calendar, since I'm glued to my phone as is. I was able to get a 4.0 for the first time as well that semester, and it was through teaching myself how to prioritize tasks. As I was getting ready to tackle my junior spring semester, I received an offer for a pathways position at NASA John F. Kennedy Space Center down in Cape Canaveral, Florida. This is a different type of internship where I'm sworn in as a federal employee on the first day and essentially go on leave to take classes back in Morgantown with the option to convert to a full-time employee after graduation. My branch wanted me to start in January, so I packed up my swimsuit and went south for the winter. Since I was away on an internship, the Statler College was able to defer my scholarships by a semester, so I don't lose eligibility when making up the semester I took off. I've spent the spring and now summer watching rocket launches and getting sunburned at the beach. Also, now that I know where I'll work after graduation, I can start planning my grad schools nearby and even put money into my retirement that's matched by the federal government. I'm able to apply a different type of engineering skills that WVU taught me at Kennedy, which is more management of assets like rockets or launch pads. When the fall semester comes around, I'm ready to go back to taking classes with some of the friends I made at that middle school STEM camp all those years ago. I've only got 2 more years left to be a student, but because of the amazing opportunities the WVU Engineering College has given me, I know I'll be a mountaineer for life.